Welcome to the weekend show with Mediumjay. Today, it's St. Patrick's Day. I got the green hoodie. You know, I came, correct with this shit. I don't want motherfuckers coming up and pinching me and shit. You know what I'm saying? You go, little fun fact. I got the green vape, bro. Back fucking smoking because a nigga was gaining weight. I thought, I ain't taking Ozempic or anything like that, but that's neither here nor there. A little fun fact, man. When I was younger, actually, this is funny as shit. I was young, right? Oh, let me get this cord out of the way. Fucking, god damn it! I had it set up. I had this shit set up. When I was younger, right? This is so dumb. This is like I was a dumb child, man. I don't even know what the fuck. Like, why was I like? I remember like I was young as fuck, like young, innocent. First time they talked about the St. Patrick's Day, and then there was like the whole Irish thing and the 4-leaf clovers. And I remember going like, oh, like man, I can't wait to, get 4-leaf clovers and my luck will change and all that shit. But I remember going like, they talked about like the pot of gold at the end of a rainbow, right? Like the legend of that whole shit. And I remember going like, oh, that's what I'll do when I'm older. You know what I mean? I'll go rainbow hunting. You know what I mean? I'll go fucking at the end of the rainbow. I'll get a pot of gold and I'll be good for fucking weeks. You know what I mean? Just get a fucking, every once in a while, oh shit, there's a rainbow, and call up the boys, like it's like some sort of hit squad or something like that. Like, yo, we going rainbow hunting, bro. Get the boys, call them up, man. We gonna fucking find that end of the pot of gold, fight off the leprechaun, kick him in the nuts, snatch his pot of gold, and run off. I was like, yeah, that's a job I could do. Rainbow hunting. So fucking stupid, man. That's the problem, man. I think that's the problem with like thinking outside the box, man. Like it's silly and like I don't know, man. There's always things where I'm thinking outside the box. But I used to think like I was so unique in the world. I thought my thoughts were so different. I'm like, I'm the only forward thinking, adolescent kid as a teenager. And then I just realized, man, that's all fucking, I don't know, man. Everybody kind of goes through that stuff. Everyone has, quote unquote deep thoughts or whatever, right? I think the problem with thinking outside the box is that you go, wow, I'm so out of the box, I'm so different than anybody else. But then you get a little older and you realize that's like a form of thinking. You're still in a box. You're just outside that box. There's a bigger box. There's always a bigger box, right? No matter how far you get, there's always some sort of fucking bigger box. I was just thinking like that. Like, I was like, oh, it's so unique. I'm gonna be the first to go rain. It's just a fucking fantasy. It's just it's like a South Park episode or something like that. Like, it's like, I was watching South Park the other day, when Santa comes down and they're trying to bring Christmas to Iraq. Like that's one of those fucking, out there, ideas on their show. One of their things, and he tries to bring gifts to Iraq, and he gets fucking RPG'd, and he gets like his fucking his Santa sleigh goes down with all the deer and shit like that, all the reindeer, and then he gets tied up and he gets tortured or whatever because he's like an infidel or whatever. He's an American, and he's like, we're gonna deliver to fucking Iraq. We're gonna deliver to the kids in Iraq. Deliver these fucking bombs, and they just end up dropping bombs. It's just it was one of those episodes where I was like, this is fucking hilarious, right? But it was much like my idea of like, let's go like, it's so out there, but it's also like it's just a ridiculous thought. But anyways, happy St. Patrick's Day for y'all motherfuckers. Hope y'all having a good one, man. You know what I mean? Holidays, it is what it is, man. Make sure you got those 4-leaf clover. The girls may be wearing the 4-leaf clover earrings and shit like that. But, You know, you wear, if you can't enter job, wear green. It's a Monday too, so again, it is what it is. But moving on, we'll talk about some news, man, and in Canadian news too, especially, right? This stuff, you know, I talked about it last week about what the fuck's going on with Canadian politics, and now, fast forward, we got a new official prime minister, right? Mark Carney, and he has been sworn in on March 14th, 2025, after Justin Trudeau resigned. He is the former governor of Bank of Canada and also the former governor of Bank of England, and has vowed that Canada will never become a part of the United States, right? And I just want to ask everybody out there, who the fuck is this nigga? Where did he come from? Y'all niggas vote? Yo, anybody? Y'all niggas voted this nigga? Right? Apparently it was like a couple hundred people behind the fucking in the deep state of Canada that got this guy in, right? Where the fuck did this nigga come from? Who is this guy? He's old money, clearly. If he was like the governor of Bank of Canada, then he transitioned to the Bank of fucking England. It's like, where did this nigga come from? I don't think anybody even knew this guy. He just popped up, right? Apparently he became the leader of the Liberal Party of Canada on March 9th this year, quite literally days ago, right? It's March 17th. So like about 2 weeks ago, this nigga was literally, you know, a week and a half ago or so. This nigga was just doing financial institutions and thought, you know what? All right, I'll be the leader of the Liberal Party now. And then that was good enough, right? Like, not even being in charge of a week, he met with Justin Trudeau on the 10th, literally the next day, and discussed running Canada. And to quote, he said, the transition will be seamless and it will be quick. He was sworn in as the 24th Prime Minister on March 14th, literally like Friday, bro. Friday. 3 or 4 days ago. It's Monday now, right? The guy fucking came out of nowhere. Again, who the fuck is this nigga? We don't know. The Wikipedia page literally doesn't have much about him. He held various roles at Goldman Sachs before joining Bank of America, which is vague. You know what I mean? Like various roles. It just says that. Like what did you do at Goldman Sachs, bud? You know what I mean? We got old money running the country for real, bro. Like you really, I thought it was like, and again, this is one of those, this idea is probably equally as dumb as my idea to go rainbow hunting. But when I was younger, I used to think anybody could truly be president or prime minister. You know what I mean? But now you look at politicians and politics and you get a little older. I'm 30 now. I've realized nobody, you can't, no average Joe gets into fucking politics. It's guys pretending to be average. It's, you know what I mean? Lincoln and all those stuff. But like, yo, maybe back in the day it was different, but I doubt it now. Like the way I see it now, it's like, you gotta be literally, it's a power thing. It's a power thing. It's a money thing. It's like a connections thing. It's like your network of like individuals. The guy met with Justin Trudeau. Literally, he probably, it was all, this was, there's no way that on the 9th he just was sworn in because of, you know, merits. He probably met, this was a long play way before Justin Trudeau even probably said he was going to resign. He probably was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this. You're going to have a nice, healthy paycheck. You know, we got you set up with the Goldman Sachs fucking Sackler fund or whatever the fuck. We got your Bank of Canada, you know, crazy, you know, crazy ETFs and stock funding thing. We got you set, Justin. Transfer of power is going to be seamless, right? He said that like almost like it's a given, right? Like it's like, you know what it is? I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna step in his shoes, no problem, real quick, right? That shit, again, where the fuck did this nigga come from? Mark Carney, never heard of him before, right? He led the response, right? In 2003, he was running the Bank of Canada. Then up until 2013, then he was appointed governor of Bank of Canada, right? Like again, so he went from Canadian banking to literally England banking, which the Bank of England is fucking the Bank of England. The Bank of Canada is literally the bank. It's the biggest bank. It's literally the Bank of America, right? If a guy just owned the Bank of America and said, you know what, I'm stepping in, I'm no vice president, no guy in the cabinet succeeding him. It's literally, hey, wait a minute, I'm gonna just do that. Like the guy that runs the banking financial institution just said, you know what, guys, I know how this looks, but I'm just gonna step in real quick, right? He led the response to the Brexit and early phase of COVID-19 pandemic, and during those banking, like he was the governor. Which again, it's vague. Like he led the response to what happened, right? And what happened with Brexit was one of those things where I think the Britain or the EU, they were trying to separate. I don't know if it was England or fucking some sort of European nation, maybe a whole fucking bunch. The UK wanted to get separated from what Europe was doing because of the various laws and stuff like that, and it was one of those things where the people wanted to. I think it started off as a meme, much like much of this fucking shit. People like they wanted to they wanted to become independent, much like Quebec's doing. Like Quebec is like, we're doing our own thing, right? Anytime I have to order online, they go, are you Canada or are you Quebec, right? Because Quebec kind of does things differently. They go, these guys are all bullshit, right? And it's I don't know if it's working out for Quebec, but in Montreal and shit like that, the ports, since Hudson Bay's in there, you can run a lot of guns and drugs from the ports, Montreal, and then go throughout Canada, which is very, like, again, it's very there's a lot of shit you could do illegally in Quebec just because of that hub port. So I don't know if that's why they're independent, right? Like it's like, hey, listen, I'm doing some shady shit. I'd rather remain independent, so ain't nobody tied to me. Ain't nobody gonna be snitching on me later on in the years to come, right? I don't know, but with Brexit, right, like, and with the COVID-19 pandemic, the response to that was he supported big banking, right? Like in COVID-19, there was many people struggling. That was the biggest, say it again, it was the biggest transfer of wealth in history when trillions of dollars from everybody, small business, all businesses, except large business for the most part, and banking institutions. Most people, regular day job motherfuckers, making it, scraping by, I'm a part of them. We lost trillions of dollars, and the richest people in the world just happened to get an extra trillions of dollars, right? They ended up going like, this is like the magic trick, right? Like, hey guys, don't go out, don't go to your job, your business has to get shut down, all this stuff you're working on, all the, the musicians and all that shit, you can't do anything, guys, cut it out. Anyways, I'm gonna be digging in your pockets, and it didn't happen that simply, but it was very like childish when the government tells you can't go to play outside. You can't do work outside. You can't do shit outside. There's a fucking again, it's like that, and I said this, I'm referencing it again because it's like that the Island movie where they said there's a deadly virus outside. Don't go outside because there's like some nuclear, the air is uncontaminated. There's something in the air, right? And you gotta, the more you ask questions, you got banned from YouTube, you got banned from Facebook. If you made any kind of suggestion that this shit is kind of shady, or like someone died because I took the vaccine that we were forced to get, and like I'm not saying that everybody shouldn't take the vaccine. It's just this happened, you'd still get banned, right? There are so many times that happened. And for the people that are bringing it up, like that, it's like you're beating a horse. But at the same time, you got to understand, it was only 5 years ago, right? 5 years ago was one of the pivotal moments, right? And they talk, I read the news and they talk about how it changed the world. But they did it. Like they did that. It was the response to the COVID-19, and big banking for the most part was like, so he was right there in the heat of it, doing exactly what the banks wanted. So again, I go, who is this nigga? Mark Carney. This motherfucker is kind of shady. If you do a little bit of research, and they don't have much on these kinds of guys, because they just pop out of nowhere. You know what I mean? I never heard the guy's name before. I never heard the governor of the Bank of Canada before, or the bank of, he was at the Bank of England. So it's like, yo, how much loyalty do you have to Canada when you're like, you're running shit here, our banking institutions here, and you said, you know what, fuck it, man. You know what I mean? About 12 years ago, I'm just gonna go over to the Bank of England real quick, and all the way up until like recently, I mean March 9th, he just became the leader of the Liberal Party, right? Again, I'm probably fucking speed running what he actually did and all this shit, but I'm sure he made some secret handshakes behind closed doors, which it pisses me off that it's this corrupt in Canada. Right? Like you don't hear a lot of shit. It just looks like all happy smiles and everybody's friendly and things are expensive because of inflation and the trade wars. It's like maybe it's a nigga that literally is running, maybe he's still running the Bank of England. And we're just sending off money up into the Europe fucking nations. We're sending money off to Ukraine again. We're just shoveling money, boatloads of money back to the England bank because this nigga's running that was his last job history. Like, yo, it's like if my last job history was Coca-Cola, I go work for Pepsi. But I'm like, yo, I'm still kind of working for, you know what I mean? I got the Pepsi shirt, literally. I'm still working for, I got the Coke, I was working for Pepsi and I'm working for Coke again. Like, it's like I'm bouncing back. Like, it's like you're going here, you're going there. Now you're the president of Coke, but you still got on your Pepsi clothes and you're just going like, yeah, I mean, we should support healthy competition. You know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden, the policies start changing around in Coca-Cola. All of a sudden, you got blue cans that look like Pepsi. And we just go, you know what? We might as well merge. Merger. Or it's just bullshit like that. You just get Coca-Cola to keep funding Pepsi. Those little things where you go. And obviously, it's a fucking weird kind of metaphor. Because it honestly is way worse than just some fucking soda. It's dealing with literally the entire economical situation, crises. And we're dealing with economical crises in Canada, in the country, in Europe and in America. Again, I want to ask, who the fuck is this nigga, man? This guy is old money. You can tell, man. He is literally the embodiment of business as usual. He just looks like it. Take a look at him. Pull him up, right? He looks like... Well, it's the year of the snake, man. And I know I'm wearing green, but that's just to get, it's a wolf in sheep's clothes type shit. This guy looks like a snake. I'm gonna throw that out there, man. It's weird. All the headlines and everything when he was in power was like, this is, Mark this day, using his name. It's like Carney is delivering the nation, the nations, he's now running shit. He's the leader of Canada, all this stuff. It was all positive, like, headlines, right? And no one, I feel like no one in the mainstream media goes like, where'd he come from though? Where out of nowhere, 2 weeks ago, this motherfucker had nothing to do with politics. And all of a sudden, he's the leader of the fucking Liberal Party? And you go, the Liberal Party, man, if you think about it, the Liberal Party is tied to the fucking big bank? what, like, you know, I hear it a lot that they say in America, like, the Democrats became Republicans and the Republicans became, you know, the conservatives, it became liberals, and the liberals became conservatives. But the conservatives were the ones trying to conserve the big banking and keeping the tax rates because they need the money and everything, and blah blah blah. And the liberals were the ones doing tax cuts and this and that. And it's like poor Pierre Poilievre, he's literally a conservative on the conservative side, talking about, you know, his campaign was literally saying he's gonna cut taxes. They killed him. They killed this nigga. He's gone, bro. Like, they gave him radio silence once they said that. The banks were like, yo, nah. You know what I mean? Nah. Cut this niggas off. Cut this mics off. You know, and cut his TV off. Turn his TV off. Turn his TV off. They don't give a fuck, bro. Once you say the one wrong thing, and he's like, I just want the regular people to fucking, regular families to be able to afford groceries. And they're like, nah. Big banking does not like that. You know what I mean? Oh, you know what I mean? You've alerted the big banking. Canada's so fucked. Man. They already dropped the interest rates of your bank account several times across the board this year. It's gone from, you know, at least 1.7. They just drop it incrementally. 0.25% here. Your high interest savings accounts and all that shit, 0.25 over there, all this shit. It's gotten to a point where I'm like, I don't even think keeping money in your bank is making money anymore. Just put it into, like, fucking, yo, it's a better investment is Ethereum or Bitcoin or some shit, right? A better investment is definitely like, yo, I'm just gonna tie my money to the fucking actual bank stocks. Just whatever money you have, you'd be better off buying literally Bank of Canada shit. Like, if you're buying financial institutions, buying gold, buying bricks of fucking, you know, silver and all that. Well, silver, I don't know. But precious metals for sure, because it's gonna go up because of this trade war and everything's getting expensive. Put your money in gas. Just put your money into stocks, people. That's the best advice I have, because, yo, if you keep it in a bank now, it's just, you're not rewarded with anything. They just keep breaking it down. It's basically making it damn near worthless keeping your money in a bank. Someone made a meme stating that crypto, since taking a dive, right? Bitcoin went down quite a bit. I don't know if it's back up. I haven't checked in a while. It's been a hot minute. But, you know, I'm still fucking investing in the shit coins and shit like that. But it's like $30-$40, right? I don't put a lot of money into it just because I know how fucking hectic it is. I'm long-terming things because it does tend to. The trend is that it dips really bad, then it dips really good, then it dips really bad. And as a fool, I don't check it until it's somewhere right in the middle. It's like it's still on a slight slope up with everything, because I know everyone's, you know, drug dealers for the most part buy a lot of shit with crypto, right? Over on the line, shady shit. But anyways, someone said that since taking a dive, crypto, if you invested a grand in Ethereum about 5 or 6 years ago, then you'd have exactly $1,000 right now. And someone commented, yeah, but here's the thing: if you keep that in a bank with all the fees, not even talking, you know, inflation, right? It'd be roughly $700, right? Because a fucking bank still charges you account fees monthly, right? You're paying $14, $15. If you got that free account, the free account only lets you do like 12 transactions a day. So that means not a day, sorry, a month. So you can only do literally a little less than every 2 days buy something with your card. Like, you can't get a coffee with your card. You can't. So it's like the convenience of it. I'm one of those guys that I like to buy something every day, right? Every day I want to get, like, I don't know if it's like a fucking coffee or, you know, a power bar at the end of my workout. If I go to the gym, get a Gatorade or something. I want to, you know, I usually just want a little something. I got to get groceries. You got to fucking fill up your gas, you know, your fucking driving for a long time, fuck, I'll get an energy drink, man. Something, right? Fucking my back's aching, get some CBD gummies or something like that. You need to get something. It's very hard to not buy something, 12 items in 1 month. You're a real good saver, right? You're a real minimalist when it comes to that shit. So it's very hard to like avoid those banking fees, because if you do, after that it's like every purchase is like $3.95 or something like that. So it's free. And I remember when I had those free accounts thinking, oh, it's a free account, and I didn't even think about it. But then I went like 30, 40, and then I was like, you owe like $40, $50. At one point I think it was like $90, and I go, what, a $90 transaction fee? And then I spent all my money, so it hit me at the end of the month going like, you got no money. Here's $90. Oh shit, you don't have any money. Here's this $45. You ended up owing like hundreds of dollars, $130, $140, right? The banks are a scam, right? It's at this point the banks are so in on like fucking over its consumer that it's just second nature, right? And they literally fucking put in a guy. They put in a fucking shadow puppet. Who is this nigga? Where'd this nigga come from? Mark Carney. Never heard of the boy. Never heard of him, bro. I would liken it to me being labeled the greatest rapper ever, right? Most motherfuckers never heard of me, but I'm like, I was with I was in with the guys in the Grammys, and then they put me as the the best album, the best, I get the best, voted the best. People go, that's fucking, and I would love it. I would love it if it was that easy. Just shake some hands with some dudes and then become the greatest fucking, and greatest rapper ever, right? Eminem's sitting there going, crossing his hand. Lil Wayne's in the back. Kendrick Lamar and Drake are like, who is this nigga, right? Like you have to ask, right? Who is this nigga? Where'd he come from? How is he the nigga that's running shit till we find out of, you know what I mean? And here's the sketchy thing about Canada that I don't like. They get to call an election, right? They just go grab. Filibuster. Should we call an election? I don't know. Do we have anybody that we want to change the, do we want to? It's very, politics is very scripted. It's WWE for the real world. It's for the fucking average person. This shit, if you keep up with it long enough, it's bullshit. I want to rip up my page of all the stuff I wrote, because I don't think even what I've researched is correct. Like this, is he really who he says he is on fucking these websites and the news organizations? Because again, if you're running the banks of fucking Canada and the banks of England, you basically have fucking, you send a nice donation to your local newspaper, not local, national. We're talking national fucking newspaper outlets, news organizations. All of that shit is tied together. They all need money. You know what I mean? Nobody's fucking buying newspapers anymore. Nobody's sitting down and watching the 6:00 evening news. I remember I was in jail though. They used to do that. They used to watch the news in jail. So, but those niggas are fucking funded by the fucking government anyways, right? Like the people, all of the TVs and stuff like that, all that shit is all funded, their paychecks are the guards, because nobody in jail is going like, I'm paying the cable bill, you know what I mean? This is stupid. There was this one time, these guys are like, we really wanted to watch the UFCs, and then they're like, if you get somebody to call on the phone, and then punch in you tell them the digit codes for the jailhouse TV, you can get, they said a couple of guys did it, right? You get someone on the outside to just punch in their credit card, and you guys could end up watching, which would have been fucking really fucking cool in jail, right? You don't get much in jail, and that was one of those things where I was like, damn, these niggas are pretty smart. Like, I would have never even thought of that. Like, I would have been like, oh, it's pay for view. Can't even try it. But there's like, no, man, dude, like fucking 3 months ago, bro, this guy fucking, we were watching the UFC, or you could watch a porno, bro, but you gotta have one guy on the lookout when a guard's coming, right? That's one of those things, man. Oh, one of those things, man. But let's get back onto it. So long story short, the banks have been fucking Canadians over. And this is nothing new. This is the long-term play. And while we're asleep at the wheel, they've been stealing a few 20s out of our wallet before leaving in the middle of the night, right? Like, it's like, yo, it's fucking that Tupac song. Before I let her get me, I gotta run up in her purse and took $20 out of the wallet. I feel like we're arguing too much about global shit, the tariffs and stuff like that. Nobody's asking what is truly going on in our homeland in Canada. And a lot of people we just get the, this is what you can blame, why things are raising, why the prices are, we're fighting with Trump and this and that. And I go, I don't know if it's just, I don't know, none of it is that simple. If you really get into this business shit and the global economics, you understand that there's certain moves that set domino effects, but there's little things that are getting adjusted because some dominoes don't hit, right? Like, yo, very rare you set up your thing perfectly and it's the perfect thing. You gotta, oh shit, that didn't move that there. And then there's a guy like Mark Carney that they get and goes, oh no, don't worry, we'll set that back up, and bloom, it's still, and then the gravy train is still going. The gravy train only works with a few individuals moving that train, right? The public, it doesn't even know about this train, because this train is taking the fucking gravy off of your plate, people. Remember that. Never forget, man. We need thinkers. We need people that get into society and share my podcast, please. Share things like this, because these are fucking real anecdotal shit where you gotta go, is it really, is the reason why everything's getting more expensive because of the tariffs, right? They had all of that shit saying we took American booze off the shelves, but you can still buy, I didn't notice anything really gone from they took American booze off the shelves, and then they said they're doing that in a few weeks. Then they said they did it already. And I just go, what is really going on? Like, how is that going to affect our shit, right? Like, the booze thing, okay. The metal's going up, all right. The tariffs and the percentages. But you go, okay, if everything increased by whatever, 20%, 50%, whatever, if it's coming from America. But there's stuff where you go like, these things, gas actually hasn't really gone up, which is, but I go like, not a lot of stuff really is, now that I think about it, like, I'm like, the groceries that I get are still pretty fairly, so what, like, is, they said it was, I don't know, like, I'm getting fucking really confused about what the man has been saying, but I don't know, man. I feel like we now just put into power a guy whose little job was before this to make the banks happy during economic recession, right? I don't like this. Once again, y'all niggas voted for this guy, right? Like, where was the vote? This guy, I mean, they held with a couple hundred people in the Senate or whatever, in the Parliament building, that they just said, yeah. I'm sure it was hands down. Everybody just said, yeah, put this guy in because we don't have anybody else. Justin Trudeau's sitting there with his feet up, filing his nails. Who's do I still have to come into work? You know what I mean? This motherfucker's already cashed his big check that fucking Bank of Canada's giving him, thanks to the governor, right? It's just like, if you think about these things, people, this is why, like, I've been pretty fucking depressed. I've been stressed out. I'm back vaping, for God's sakes. I'm having trouble sleeping because a lot, you know, people out there go like, this stuff's concerning. The fight with Canada and USA specifically is concerning, but it's like, yo, what is China's main goal, right? What is like, if we had the opportunity, man, if we could get China and Korea to fuck with each other, Japan to fuck with each other, it's beautiful, right? Like, we're like, great. If, you know, Russia and Ukraine or whatever, those guys are, Russia's too busy fighting Ukraine to deal with America, right? And Canada, whatever, right? The fucking, the cartel, Mexican cartels fucking with Brazil, great. They don't have enough time to run drugs up into North America, right? Like, it's almost like getting two people to fight, like your two enemies to, you know, fight with each other. You know, great, right? We buy up the land. They fight with each other, fuck around with each other, make it really hard. We come in with our shit, buy up their shit, and go, while they're still fighting, complaining about shit, we get the work done, right? We're so fucked. We're so fucked. China, I could see the play. Like, China is genius, right? And it's, I don't know. Is it because it's a dictatorship? Or is it because that they can't talk shit about their government? I always thought that would hinder shit. But it's like, if you look into like those futuristic movies, right? And I'll get back to what I was talking about. But those futuristic movies where like the aliens come down all organized and like, you got to think, they never really talk about the governments of aliens, right? Like in the Star Troopers, right? There was that big worm. Shouts out to that big worm, man. Worm God. It was like, it's just a big ass worm, and he was, I guess, the oracle or whatever of the psychic worm. But he was running the bugs, man. He was running the bugs. If you had one guy going like, hey, listen, man, we need to build a pyramid, right? And everybody's like, shit, all right, boss says we gotta do this, right? I'm very susceptible to communism, I guess. I'm very fascism. Making a good point, cause like, oh, if the guy is a genius, right, and he has but like, if you're trying to go into another planet, right? We'll speak specifically on aliens. All of the movies show the aliens working together. Now imagine if we had a whole I mean, I guess soldiers have to do that same shit. But even then, there's so many times that they don't show, because this gets you whatever. Like the soldiers going like, they're like fucking both fucking, you know, in the tunnels and shit, and they get a break, and they just go, I don't fucking like doing this, man. We gotta kill these farmers. We're fucking killing these in Vietnam. We're killing these fucking farmers, dude. Or we're running up in people's homes and tying up the children. Like, it's like that type of shit where it's like, they don't ever show that side of the invasions and the takeovers and the war shit, where it's like the moral decisions that most humans go through, right? Aliens just come in and the boss says do this, do that, right? Like, you gotta be very fucking, and I'm sure Chinese people have morals and stuff like that when they, you know, I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know. I just feel like, I hope the fucking people at the top have some morals, right? I hope some good, you know, maybe I'm putting too much on Mark Carney, right? Maybe I am. But again, I don't trust a motherfucker that literally was his last job was fucking England's bank. It was this, like, what were you doing? I was running shit over in England, right? And England hasn't been doing, you know, England, motherfucker, I don't know what the Europe, what's going on over in England? I don't know, but it's just suspicious, because now it's like, okay, now I'm running Canada, right? You're running the banks in England, and now I'm running Canada, and it's like, again, I gotta ask, where did this nigga come from? Where did he come from, right? Dude has literal banking, just became the leader of the Liberal Party less than a week ago and now is in charge of Canada. The next elections are on or before October 20th this year, right? Which is weird, on or before. So they have a deadline. So at any time he could just go, you know what? Let's try to vote right now, right? Like, what's the poll saying? Poll saying we good? Yeah. Okay. Let's run it right now. Let's run the game right now. You know what I mean? Imagine if two UFC fighters, right? This is fucking because he has to. Pierre Polyev right now is low. The media suppression's doing well. You know what I mean? People liked him, but now they're not too sure because we got a new daddy and we're like, I don't know. We gotta keep an eye. Is he doing good? Is he? We can't tell right now. It's in the early stages. We're getting used to our new daddy, right? He's a new daddy, so we're not too sure if this nigga is good or not, right? So they're waiting until they go. Okay, it's that. Sometimes first impressions are good, but in the long, and sometimes you got to ease people into the, you gain their trust, or you start off really, people like you and then they slowly get to know you and then they realize. So they're like, but again, it's like running a UFC fight where the fighter goes, we got word the guy's sick. Okay, let's run the fight right now. Let's run the fight. Let's go. Let's set it all up. We're doing the fight right now. The guy has, an incredible amount of power. And I never knew this in Canada. I always thought it was like, it was rigid and we had to do things by the book. But these motherfuckers, Justin Trudeau was in power for a decade or something like that. If you think about it, how long was this nigga in? This nigga was in there. I remember because I had a job trucking at least 7-8 years. And this was before I was even a truck driver. That he got into, I was working still in banquets, which, it had to have been 10, 12 years ago, a decade at least. Shit's so fucked, guys. Shit's so fucked. I'm sorry to depress you guys, but this is like, we're fucked. We're so fucked. The Liberal Party literally used to represent liberalism. Now, and the right to like private property and equality before the law. Yeah, they just got bought out by big banks. The liberals got bought. You know what I mean? It's just gone, right? Mark is taking a page out of Poilievre's book, and he said he's gonna cut consumer carbon price, the consumer carbon price tax or whatever, possibly until the election. Poilievre said on social media, carbon tax Carney is pushing the carbon tax credit until after the election when he no longer needs your vote but still wants your money, right? Pierre made eliminating it a pillar of his platform. So he literally said, like, we got to get rid of this bullshit tax. Like, people are going to be using gas. And again, this is one of those weird things that Justin Trudeau did that not many people really, like, the conspiracies, my studio engineers really like, it's all fucked. And he tells me about it. And I'm like, I'm about to go to rap. And this is why I think I get depressed about music and everything, because I'm literally tied to this guy. And the guy goes, I'll be going like, okay, I'm ready to rap. Let's go. Let's rap. I'm gonna make some bars, spitting hot fight in it. And then he goes, that was great anyways, man. While he's mixing the shit, he's like, hey, did you hear about, and he'll just go on a list of like why everything's fucked. He's like, everything's gonna be charged more. He's like, I just tell these people, and I just talk about it because nobody's talking about it. But he'll talk about like something like the carbon tax credit, where it's like, think about it. Most people have gas cars, right? The push for electronic vehicles is a weird push because the entire industry is still pretty much basically running on gas. So it's like saying, man, I don't know, there's going to be a coffee thing. There's a coffee tax. Most people drink coffee. Not many people drink tea compared to coffee. Coffee is big. So they go, but if you switch to tea, there's no difference, right? And people go, well, tea is a lot more healthier. tea's a lot more healthier, and the sugar tax or something like that. Sugar versus Splenda or something like that, right? Most people drinking regular shit with their sugar. Most people drinking sugar or having regular sugar as opposed to Splenda. And they go, well, it's better for you. The incentive is for the climate. It's the sugar canes, whatever it is. I know I'm flubbing up the metaphor, but it's there kinda. Again, not many people fucking can just go out and buy a new car, right? You can't just go, you know what, I'm just gonna make the switch. I'm gonna get rid of my fucking gas car. The car that I have, I want to keep. Even though I'm paying quite a bit, and they go, but they shouldn't tax you because 10 years ago, before all this bullshit, you decided to get a car that was, and the only options, there was a Prius availability. There was only hybrids at the time. There was no fully electric vehicles. And it's like, yo, we're getting grandfathered in slowly to bullshit. A lot of this stuff is like, yo, we'll just hit them with the tax, hit them with the tariff, hit them with this, hit them with things that they're already doing, right? Say every day you go to the gym, and all of a sudden some guy comes and goes, there's a toll while you're walking, you're not even driving, you're just walking to the gym. The guy goes, listen, man, to use this path, which is closer to the gym, or you can make it difficult for yourself, go all the way around this big ass fucking nice shortcut street. Just run your pockets. $5, man. Come on. It's only 25% of your gym membership. You're already going to the paying to go to the gym. You know what I mean? Might as well, every couple of days, when you pass through here, you give me $5, right? We're getting bullied, right? We're getting, if you think about it, it feels like we're getting bullied into getting taxed for shit we're already doing, right? We're already stuck in, dude, I really wish I didn't I really wish I thought about saving my money and then buying an electric vehicle now, so I don't get fucking the carbon tax credit, whatever the fuck. It's stupid, man. It's like a tax on top of another tax that they're doing. But in lighter news, man, measles is making a comeback. Measles, right? Welcome to fucking 2025, where measles is making a comeback. In Calgary, officials warn that some may have been exposed to this illness. In Ontario, 31 hospitalizations in the past 2 weeks have been reported, right? In just the first 2 months of 2025, 95 people have been infected in Canada, compared to 147 people for all of 2024, right? So we're really close to, so already double what the measles outbreak was last year. This is crazy. The experimental COVID-19 vaccines may be the culprit, right? Like a lot of people got vaccinated, and they right around that time, people were like, "What? Are we just seeing these new diseases, measles and mesothelioma?" I don't know what that is, but measles was one. They had these weird diseases are coming out, right? They said some guy had the plague at one point. You're going, what the fuck? No, that's a joke. I don't know. I can't remember. There was measles. There was shingles, which was one of those things where, I don't know if it's shingles. I can't remember exactly. I'm blanking on it, but there was a lot of little diseases that were popping up once people were getting vaccinated, right? A few years ago, but yeah, I don't know much about this shit. I'm very worried about a lot of things. Measles isn't one of them. I don't like measles. But it does. I don't know much about measles. I just seen it fucks up your skin. And I'm gonna talk shit about measles, man. Fuck, if you catch measles, man, you're weak. You're weak you got weak. That's so dumb. Just talking shit about measles victims is dumb, man. Moving on. In a lot sadder news, Justin Bieber shares his imposter syndrome. As he wrote on his Instagram story, "People told me my whole life, 'Wow, Justin, you deserved that.' And And I personally, this is all what he wrote, but I'm quoting him. I personally have always felt unworthy, like I was a fraud. Like when people told me I deserve something, it made me feel sneaky. Like, damn, if they only knew my thoughts and how judgmental I am, how selfish I really am, they wouldn't be saying this. I say all this to say, if you feel sneaky, welcome to the club. I definitely feel unequipped and unqualified most days. This post is not only a look into Justin's personal life, but is also a promo for his new single, Sneaky, releasing later this month with Billie Eilish, right? I was just playing. Just fucking around. I feel for Justin. Not Justin Trudeau, Justin Bieber. Got his power at a very young age, right? His fame and fortune and all this shit. He was like 14, 15 years old and he was like the biggest name in the world, right? Elevated to a ridiculous length. But that feeling of like, all right, I made music and everybody loves me. But like where like now, like he's probably my age. He's probably my age, 30, 31, maybe he's 28. So he's around that age, late 20s, early 30s. And it's that time, right? Like it's the time when you're getting that midlife crisis. And dude, like to have to go like I was the shit at 14, like 14 years old, everybody fucking loved me. You know what I mean? Literally grown women would throw their bras and panties on stage at this guy type shit, right? Like this, and to go like, well, I guess that's, and he still can sell out arenas and stuff like that, but I don't think probably, and he could probably pull out any chick, but he's married now, right? Like he's married. He's probably like, don't do that shit at my don't come to my shows doing all that fucking hoe shit, right? You got to keep the hoes at bay, right? No thank you, women. No thank you. You push them off to the side. Push these women off me like, right? He's married. I don't know if he has a kid or not. He's growing up, right? And all that industry shit, right? He was with Diddy, right? There's some sus shit with Diddy that was like, when he was like, I really like this guy, we party and we get bitches to get type shit, and it's like, he's like 16 years old. What are you doing with him, Diddy? It's crazy. But that's the Hollywood lifestyle, right? There's probably looks back at it and goes, I don't know, man. If I was just a regular kid growing up in Canada, I just went to school, hung out with the boys, played some video games or whatever. Like, it's very easy to see the grass is greener, right? Like, I was listening to Eminem, and Eminem was saying some shit about like, I miss pumping gas. It's just crazy. Like, you gotta like throw on a disguise now. You run into the store, be real quick. Let me get 5 on pump 10, and then run back into your car because he doesn't want to get mobbed by a bunch of people and go, all right, now, my wrist is going to get sore because I'm signing all these niggas' autographs, right? So I feel for Justin Bieber in this imposter syndrome. Many people have it. I, at times, I have it for my dreams. I literally go, man, if I had a mansion and all these women and all this shit, I probably would still be like, man, did I earn it, right? And I don't even have it. so I, in my dream, even my dreams don't let me be truly enjoying this shit because I go, I think too much, right? It's the problem of a person thinking too much. I really wish deep down I could be dumb, ignorant, and just be one of those mouth breathers that just go, I went to work today, and it was a good day. And I come home, and now I have fun. I, put on my podcast, talk some shit, and I talked about it. And we talked about the news, and I did that. And there's nothing, there's nothing really there. But those motherfuckers are happy, bro. Like, that ignorance truly is bliss, right? A motherfucker, on the side of the street begging for change goes, I got my fucking $2. And I go like, how you doing, man? I got $2. I got $2. I go, man, you're so happy. Here's another $2. Oh shit, $2. I can get a coffee and a donut, right? Like motherfuckers, like that's just you're just happy. You know, you don't think externally about anything. It's just internally, like, oh shit, what do I got? What do I have to worry about? And you know, I'm just like a pigeon almost. Like a pigeon's just looking around, like, a pigeon doesn't do much. Oh, there's some bread on the side. Great. This is great. This is amazing. Like, we got bread, right? And that's it. There's nothing much to that. But anyways, I'm glad Justin Trudeau. I keep calling him Justin Trudeau. I keep it. Both, both had a lot handed to them at a very early age. Both named Justin, right? But I'm glad Justin Bieber came out and talked about his imposter syndrome earlier. Because it's just coming right around the time people were starting to, most people were starting to forget about him, right? It's sure to pump up those album streams, right? Moving on, man. Kim Kardashian rubs up on a Tesla robot. Now people are claiming that she's a Nazi and shit like that. But it was a black Tesla robot. This is a black Tesla robot. So I'm thinking, claiming that this is the she's honing on the true the wise words of the saying, once you go black, you really can't go back. But just and those photos were taken outside, so it's just make sure you don't bring that black robot in the house, right? she's not falling for that one again, like Kanye. Don't bring this robot nigga into the house, right? Fuck it. She was rubbing up on the Cybertruck, and there's like the Tesla robot, right? Again, it's just a little light news to keep it light, right? Because shit like this can get depressing. Speaking of Kanye, actually, he's back on X, he's going crazy. There's a lot of stuff that Kanye West has been posting. I recently seen he had literally almost a Klan's member, outfit. Not on, he just posted it with a Nazi swastika chain. And he posted recently, he's like, I want people for my choir. You must have a skin complexion darker than Sean Combs, which is wild. You can't be fat. And you have to be comfortable wearing swastikas. You have to be comfortable wearing swastikas. Oh yeah, and you have to shave your head completely bald, right? So like, people, there's so many fucking jokes like, yo, you're eliminating so many people with the fat thing. Like you have to be comfortable wearing swastikas as well. Shave your head completely bald. No fatties, by the way. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, but he's going off on that shit. I don't know what's going on. He said they said that here's a sneak peek of his new whatever, I don't know, performance studio, and it's just Nazi. His arena is just literally swastikas. He's like, my next post, it's literally a swastika. So I don't know. I've gotten to this point where I look at Kanye, I go, it's too much. I'm tapping out, Kanye. I'm like, this is not the fucking movement. I think he realized it. He went way so far on the line that you're just looking like a schizophrenic. Your fans are gonna be in this weird cult where you're joking but not really joking about hating Jews. At a certain point, man, it's like, all right, that's not a joke anymore, right? You're just fucking around, right? You're fucking around. And I think he pulled back a little bit because he said, this is my new whatever logo for, and it's just nigga. It's just nigga. So he's like, he's trying to remind people that he's a nigga, right? Like, but yo, you went so deep into like repping Nazis, where it's like, I don't know if you really are trying to look for the approval of Nazis or what. Like, it's just a weird angle, man, and it's just stupid, man. But being the fucking contrarian he is, he recently stated, I don't like Kendrick Lamar's music. He raps very good, but I didn't need to hear him on a Cardi album. And like, honestly, Cardi is trash rap. Playboy Cardi fucking sucks. I feel like his whole new music album with the cover art I Am Music on it, is just an album he broke out in a weekend, with most of it feeling like it's a freestyle album. I listened to a couple songs and I just went, yeah, it's Kendrick Lamar's part was decent, but it definitely like I see where he's coming from, but again, I'm not really a fan of Cardi to begin with. And Kendrick Lamar, every now and then, he'll go outside the box in his features where you go like Cardi is trash rap, right? Like to hop on, he also rapped with Rich the Kid, I think. Kendrick rapped with Rich the Kid, New Freezer, which is like talking about ice, basically pulling fucking ice out the fucking box is like a new freezer, ice out the box, new freezer. It's just a chain with diamonds on it. Ice, new freezer, that's my song, right? And Kendrick Lamar, sometimes you just gotta have fun with it. I get that. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta have fun with it. I don't know. I'm not thinking too much of it. Kendrick Lamar is on the album Playboy Cardi. I'm never gonna listen to that shit. Listened to it once and I went, nothing. It's almost worse than trash. Like, I think trash rap is good. Like, if it's just silly kind of like bars and not like having fun with it, like Soulja Boy type shit, I enjoy much more than guys like Cardi, because Cardi is too like, this is like, his album's literally music and the cover art is I am music. So it's like, I am literally the god. And it's like, yeah, she's sucking my dick. You're just going on regular shit. Like, Lil B did that shit way back in the day. Lil B had the flow of like ridiculous, I'm the greatest, and then like, bitch, suck my dick. And it's like 1,000 songs with the same flow. And I feel like with Playboy Cardi, he's just industry. He's industry nigga. He just seems very like he could easily call up The Weeknd, call up these niggas, and then they get the amazing amount of promo and distribution to just fucking run the numbers, right? It just is what it is. Turning into more local news, Winnipeg neighborhood has been the site of 3 homicides recently last month, right? Police have increased the presence in the William White neighborhood to combat gang-related activity, stemming from 3 homicides, 2 in 300 block of Alfred Avenue on February 15th, and 1 on February 27th in the 500 block of Magnus Avenue, as well as multiple firearm offenses, assaults, and arsons, right? 9 arrests have been made since February 26th and March 9th, right? I don't got much to say on this. It's just, there's a lot of motherfuckers out here killing. You know what I mean? 3 homicide. I think that like this, they talk about this stuff, but it was like a blurb. You don't see that going in jail and actually visualizing how many motherfuckers actually like, yo, I killed a nigga and I got away with it, right? There's some dudes that are in there just for some bullshit. Right, and they could only pin on, whatever. But the motherfucker goes, I had some people that they ain't around no more. I had some enemies. And you go like, that shit doesn't pop up at all, right? So like, this is only what the police know. The police can, motherfuckers go missing all the time, right? A lot of people go missing. It's crazy, right? Especially up north in the reses and stuff. There's so many signs of these various people just missing. And you go, are they really missing? Because like, there's not a lot of it's a tight-knit community. There's not a lot of people that can really go like, I don't know what this motherfucker is. There might be somebody that goes, well, he's buried somewhere, but if I tell that, these niggas are coming for me, right? If I say anything, these motherfuckers are coming for me, right? Someone finds out that I'm the only one that knows, so these motherfuckers are coming, right? That's how it goes, right? Like, I seen some shit, but it is what it is, right? Lighter news, I went to see the homies show on Friday. Got off work, pulled up. They're opening for, I don't even know, XYB or some shit. Some guy. You open up for some niggas that they didn't even stay around for these guys, right? This is why like the rap game. I was like, it's just a party. These motherfuckers are just partying, right? I pulled up just to party. I didn't even see the homie show. I missed the guys opening up, but it's nice to like go in and say hi to everybody, see the homies, take some photos, you know what I mean? Have a drink with the guys, go to the club, you know, chill out with a little bit, flirt with some girls. But I remember like being like, I'm hopping in the car. They're gonna bring 2 chicks back. We got like 5 guys, bringing a couple chicks back home. We're all gonna try to fuck the girls. And I just remember like, I'm like, oh, these girls were mid. Homie Fresh Prince wanted to fuck. Well, I mean, one of the girls was a stripper. She was decent. She's mid though. And she was like flirting with everybody. She's like, I'm a stripper. I'm just networking. And I was just watching her the whole time, just like, you little sneaky bitch. You're like, you're with the homie, then you're with that guy. And then she started like just like hugging up on me and shit like that. And I was fucking, all right, you know, okay. You know what I mean? You're with that. I'm trying to fuck your sister, right? Your girl that you brat. And your sister's being all like, and I was trying to like talk to this, but then as soon as she seen me trying to give attention to the sister, she went over, and it was like one of those things, and I just remember going like, this has nothing to do with music. Like this, I don't know if we're gonna make it, boys. Like we're just out here fucking around, right? Like we're not fucking. And I remember there's like at least 5 dudes going like, yo, we're gonna make music. Did y'all hit a nigga up yet? It's been 1 week since you said that shit. I don't know, man. I don't like the party aspect of this shit, because it's like nothing really, like we just end up drinking and fucking bitches, man. And like, yeah, that was fun. But we did that shit back, 10 years ago when we were in our teenage year, 19, 20, 20s. We're turning 30, guys. We're getting older, man. None of us really truly broke through. We all kind of can get together and get 15 artists on the fucking show and get 50 to 60 people to show up. But like, we're not moving the needle. We're just throwing out more and more shows, and some bass heads come through looking to buy some shit. The guys are selling drugs here, and we're drinking there, getting shots, and blah, blah, blah. Biggie said it best, man. It's just party and bullshit, man. Party and bullshit. I don't know how you really rise to the ranks with, like, just partying all the time, man. Let's get back on our grind, man. I'm gonna fucking send my emails out. Hit me up. Let's work. Let's collab. No, we're not doing anything. Okay, then. Keep it moving, right? When you're ready in 5 months to share your little fucking verse with me, I'm gonna be done my album, right? I'm gonna be done the whole album. Medium Pill, on the way. Medium Pill, I'm working on it. I actually just finished working on, I think, almost two or three songs last night, which was nice. Yeah, there's some news. I don't know. Okay, let's run through it quick, fast, because I fucking been dragging this shit out. Snow White is coming out, and midgets are mad, right? Peter Dinklage, since he went out and stated that little people are typecasted in these types of roles, right? Resulting in movies now using CGI instead of using the real actors. This motherfucker made it up in the ranks and pulled up the little step ladder so his little midget friends can't, he just fucked up. It's like when and I don't know if it's like, so there's some black guys that go like, having a black actor, and it's not the biggest deal. Having a black actor in black, imagine Black Snow White or whatever. It's motherfucker, we need more people create black. We need more guys like Jordan Peele. We need more guys. As bad as I want to, don't want to say this, like guys like Tyler Perry that create a whole entire industry, and then they do what they want. They can hire the grips, hire the fucking directors, and the guys behind the scenes. We need more black people doing behind the scenes shit. Like I don't know, but with midgets, I mean, fuck, it's a very real typecast. Like to take the jobs of these people, these little people, is very like there's what else do they got? Dress up as fucking Santa's elves at the mall? You know what I mean? It's St. Patrick's Day today. Are they just going around to local bars being in a leprechaun suit? Like what? It caught me off guard. It's so dark. Get the shotgun and go rainbow hunting, man. Oh shit! Kick the little fucking leprechaun in the chest and run off with his pot of gold. It's so stupid, man. Moving on, man. America came up with the self-deportation app, right? Like, so again, this is the Trump administration going, ah shit. 1 second. Fucking phone, dude. Okay, I'm gonna go talk over it. But yeah, America came up with the self-deportation app, right? Now this is funny because it's literally like there's an app for everything nowadays, and people have gotten lazy to the point where it's like, listen, you don't need to, you don't need to like get kicked out of the country legitimately anymore. Listen, what is the commercial for this app, right? Like, guys, illegals out there, I know you're enjoying your time and keeping your head on a swivel. Fucking goddamn. So fucking, damn it. I was going. I'm not editing it. It's just going to be cut for that. Whatever, fuck it. But the self-deportation to get, fucking, I don't know, man. Fuck this. I don't need, like, when you're on a roll, you're on a roll. And then you get fucked in, shit. This is, oh well. It's fucking hell. This is the worst thing ever. Fucking bullshit. It's almost as bad as, the Trump administration going like, yo, listen, what does the commercial look like? Guys, I know you're illegal here. I know your head's on a swivel and you're constantly watching out for ICE and you just want to make some ends meet to provide for your family, and you're trying not to you're trying not to get deported back to your country because your country is filled with gang members and poverty and whatnot. But if you are looking, to get deported, we got the app for you, right? And deportation is just a simple step, and you can get rewarded, right? You'll get a free coffee. like what is the incentive for somebody to go onto the app? And I heard Tim Dillon talking about this. Tim Dillon's hilarious because he made the joke. He's like, what is the fucking app look like when it's like you're hitting the button and you're not getting deported, right? Like you hit the button, it's like a technical failure, right? Apps always have that crash out moment where you're trying to do something on the app and it freezes. You're trying to deport yourself. It's an hilarious thought, like trying to deport yourself and the app crashes and you go, God damn it. Oh, I guess I'm still in America, the land of the free. Guess I'm shit. I guess I have healthcare, or not a healthcare, whatever. You got good fucking whatever. You're not in fucking some gang infested area. You're not fucking drinking some sewage water. You're not in poverty. God, you come home from work and you go, maybe today's the day the app will work. It's crashed again. Trying to deportate yourself is a wild thing to come up with, right? The Trump administration goes, yeah, just make an app for that. It's crazy. Like, all of these things nowadays is just, it's removed the human element and aspect of everything to the point where we have Keanu Reeves, one of the worst actors in history, playing a video game. He's playing Fall Guys in the new Rogers Xfinity commercial, and he's like, he has the same look. He's like he's killing somebody in John Wick. And I go, this guy sucks so much at acting. John Wick fucking sucks. Or Keanu Reeves sucks. Because, tell me, when have you ever felt that Keanu did, like even in The Matrix, he was like such a fucking, like, deadpan actor, right? I think him and fucking, what's his name? The guy that played Ghost Rider, Nicolas Cage, fucking garbage actors. They don't, it's almost like they play the same guy every time, like a guy that keeps his cards to his chest, doesn't show his emotions, but in dire situations where someone, like his best friend dies or someone gets killed, you watch Keanu Reeves as John Wick, you know what I mean? Some bullshit happens and he goes, well, I guess I gotta start killing again. Oh boy, here I go killing again. It's so fucking, like, you watch Keanu Reeves and the movie, action wise, is cool. When he's doing action stunts and all that stuff, it's cool. I don't even know if he has a stunt double. Maybe. I can't remember if he does or not. But I go, like, the emotional scenes, right? Like there's like Denzel Washington is such a good actor because with his facial expressions and his tones of voices in things, he can, like, he changes the scene. The scene is him. Samuel L. Jackson is good because his range of inflections of, like, I've had it with these motherfuckers, even though it's very, I've had it with these motherfuckers, motherfucker, like the motherfucker is just so, like, it's a good, like, it's, he's pissed. John Wick goes, motherfucker. Anyways, and I'm back to killing and shit, he got me. It's like if you had a basic level guy and he knows nothing about acting. We put him with Keanu Reeves and you go, this is the same, these guys are doing the same thing, right? There's Keanu Reeves, the Matrix and John Wick specifically, you can go, these guys are the same guy. There's no, Neo and John Wick are just guys that, like, they just do magic shit. They just magically do things that are fucking cool and look cool to the camera. I'm moving on, man. I get wrapped up in hating on Keanu Reeves. But the commercial pissed me off because it's like, he's like, the guy's playing Fall Guys, and it's just, he's like, like he's like it's like Call of Duty. that's a Call of Duty level. Like you're playing like even an MMO, some sort of like Dragon Slayer 9 or whatever. That emotion for Fall Guys where you're playing, you're like, oh come on, let me jump over. Shit, let me jump over. That's the emotions for Fall Guys. It's a party game. Oh, I gotta jump over the little hoop, and I gotta, it's like for people that don't know, Fall Guys is like this little kids game. It's like you're a little bean, and you gotta fucking do little games, kind of like Squid Games. Like there's like the puzzles where you jump on one and the thing flattens. It's like Fall Guys is basically like try not to fall off the map and die. You're with like 80 people or whatever, 40 people, and you guys all have to race to make it to the end, right? Or you have to make sure you don't fall off like a big circle where there's a couple obstacles that come around, and you could run around the circle. Just don't fall off the edge. But it definitely doesn't, because he was like screaming at the thing like, yeah, like he's seeing somebody die, right? He like, and it's, I get that they're making it a joke, but that acting too is still like it's the man. You gotta throw in like a childish aspect of it, not like some no, like that acting was more. You did more for that scene in the fucking Xfinity commercial, which again, this is context. You gotta have some sort of context to your fucking your acting, Keanu. You did more for that than you did for the entire fucking death scene when Trinity died in the Matrix. No! Trinity, my love! Yeah, the machines! And, you know what I mean? He did none of that. He just went kind of like, oh, damn it, man. Darn it. Like, there wasn't a lot for that scene. I don't know. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Maybe he just flew really fast and shit. But again, I don't know. Moving on, man. Today, I don't know what's going on, man. My job, this is a little bit of, personal shit. My job, man. My boss, like, I got stuck a couple weeks ago in Grand Rapids, right? There was this. I usually go down this one street, and this one street leads into. It's like almost like a residential street. Not really, but it's like there's nothing but residential streets that turn off of it, except for one main street that goes to their like hydro plant. That one street was iced over, so it was closed. And I was driving, and I'm like, "Fuck, I'm stuck." And I came to like a dead end, but it had a U-turn, and the U-turn was for cars, and I'm in a big ass truck. But I'm like, the way it is, it's just wide enough. There's maybe some snowbanks along the side. I'm like, this is probably, because I looked, there's traffic behind me. I'm like, fuck, they want to make that U-turn too. Like, I'm going to try to make a U-turn. And I didn't make it fully because I got my tires stuck into the snowbank, and I'm like, just revving the tires. I'm like, fuck, I got stuck. And I'm like, shit, got stuck. Called dispatch, they got me out, tow truck and everything. And I'm like, all right, yeah, fuck, I know not to do that, right? But my boss, the supervisor, he just talked to me today about it, and he was like, so what happened? Like, what? And I was like, I got stuck. He's like, oh, so like, how much experience do you have? And I was like, you guys hired me, like, they didn't tell you? Like, it was like 7 years. He's like, oh, 7 years, so it shouldn't have happened. And I go, yeah, I mean, I should have, He's like, what you should have done is back up onto, and I was trying to explain to him, I'm like, dude, there's, cars behind me too. I couldn't just stop, tell them, hey, get away, I'm backing up into the thing. And I'm like, even on a residential street, it's tough to back up. I honestly made the miscalculation. I honestly do believe, though, that if there maybe wasn't all the snow pushed to this, I would have had enough room to just straighten out a little bit more and then turn around. I think there was enough room. I just the way I turned into it, it was a little too, I turned into it a little too quick or something. Maybe I fucked up. But again, I learned, and I'm like, man, I literally the next week I didn't do that. But I don't know, man. Like, I just felt like the guy whipped out his dick in the office, and because it was in front of he didn't take me behind to his office and talk about it. He literally was like, so why'd you do that? Like, I go, I made a mistake. He's like, okay, so when that happens again, like anytime you're gonna make a mistake, just don't do it. And he's like, yo, if you're gonna have an accident, and I felt like, yo, I'm like, oh, genius, oh, sorry, oh yeah, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't when I'm gonna make a mistake, just don't do that. And I just remember going like, this guy's fucking like just some like, it's not that simple. Like, I mean, like, how many times do you make mistakes? Oh, okay. Hey, okay. Here's a suggestion. When you made that mistake, I don't know, you did the wrong, you gave the wrong task to somebody, and then made their life, made their shift difficult because it was like they weren't supposed to do that or whatever. You got them to do something. Remember, or whatever. You made a mistake and fucked up. Whatever job. I mean, as a supervisor, you did the wrong thing, right? Okay, just don't do that, right? Like, it's like, okay, but we're all humans, man. We all make mistakes, man. That was one of those things where like I was fucking really tired. I was just like, I gotta do all of this shit. And the run that I have, it's Grand Rapids, man. The thing I wanted to explain to him, I didn't even get a chance to because some guy came and talked, like literally I was like, hey man, I got, I'm doing this stuff, talking to the boss, and I was just sitting there going like, or standing there, and I was like, oh shit, he doesn't even care about, he doesn't even want to hear my explanation of like the whole, I had like several fucking minutes of like explaining to the guy like, yo, listen, this run is fucked. It's fucked for one reason, because I gotta drive 5 hours up north, deliver everything, and drive back 5 hours, right? You guys want it done in one day. This is why it's like super stressful, and like there's times where there's going to be things like that happens where it's like I'm rushing too much. And I didn't even get to explain that to the guy. I'm probably going to bring it up next time that I see him. I'm just going to go, listen, I know you're angry about that thing, and I'm going to keep pushing him because I know he's fucking mad at me for doing it, and he'll have to be defensive at that point. But I'm going to go, I know you're angry that I made that. I'm very sorry. But the run is so difficult because back in 5 hours, that's 10 hours wasted. Again, coming back into the city, fueling up, unhooking and unhooking, checking everything, all the truck and everything, the pre-trip, post-trip, doing all the paperwork. That's at least an hour, at least, right? You could do it all fast in an hour, doing all of that setup and everything. But you're working, so that's 11 hours right off the bat. You're only allowed to drive for 13 hours, right? So there's 2 hours that I'm in Grand Rapids. You guys give me a giant trailer, and they go, oh, well, if you got 5 deliveries plus a whole lot of little and I'm like, I gotta call up these people in like, in the residential areas and go like, hey, can you meet me at this place because I got one little tiny package, and it ends up being like 13, 14 fucking deliveries in the day. Like, I can't do that in 2 hours. You just can't do that in 2 hours and then race back home, because I'm going to be in violation all the time. So the last few weeks I've been sleeping in Grand Rapids just because I'll get like 6 hours. That way I got like 6 hours to get there home, 6 hours to drive in or whatever and do all my stuff. And then I have, what is it, 6:13, like 7 hours of delivery time. So I'll be able to make, 7 hours each day, like 7 here, and then like 5 or 6 hours here, 5 hours there, whatever it is. But I'm good in violation. I'm not in violation. Couldn't even explain that to him. The guy literally just kind of like, hey, dumbass. Yeah, this is how it felt, right? Like he felt like he just slapped me with his dick, right? It was just, he big dicked it, and I felt like such a bitch. I was like, God damn it, man. Like yeah. Why did you do that? I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm the dumbest person. It's like, what happened back there? You made a mistake. You got stuck. You represent our company out there, bud. what's going on? Like, it was like, it felt like there was someone that died. Like, he made it feel like someone died. He's like, why would you do that? What? Why? Oh, man. We're never going to get that. Like, he's like, we're never going to financially I go, bro, like, you call it a tow truck. Like it happens. People get stuck. It's the winter time. Motherfuckers get stuck. You go down someplace, especially driving out in these residential areas, bro. Like, yeah, these north communities, there's times when I'm sure I'm not the only one. I can't be the first person in the history of the company to get stuck, right? So don't act like it's this revolutionary idea, man. I don't know. I know I'm complaining, but it's like, bro, I literally had that fucking. I'm feeling like slapping my boss today. I'm feeling like killing myself. I feel like killing my boss today. Feeling like killing my boss today. That fucking song by I Know It's Strange, but brain's going really insane, and I'm off the chain, sipping on a fifth of that golden grain. I feel like slapping a nigga today. Slapping a nigga today. I feel like slapping a nigga. Yo, shouts out Ludacris. That song "Slap" is good. Also, the remix that Chameleon did on it was good too. I don't know, man. To have someone just pull you aside, not even aside. It was in front of the pretty girl from the pretty Russian chick from fucking in the office over there, and I was just like, yeah, I am a dummy. What are you doing? Trying to U-turn at a dead turn? I go, it wasn't a dead end. It was a U-turn for, well, that was for cars, Jeff. You're in a truck. You got to understand the size of a truck. Do you understand that? Do you understand how big a truck is? I go, yes, boss. I do understand. I know. I should have known. Yeah. And I was just like, but he goes, no. What I would have done is back up. I go, you need more experience. You need to be more visual. You need to, I just remember going like, oh, he's fucking like, I'm like thanks for literally basically making me look like a fucking dumb child. Like I think maybe he thinks I'm stupid. Maybe this nigga thinks I'm fucking retarded. And I did that was a pretty big mistake. It was, but again, it's not fucking the worst mistake out there. The damage to the thing wasn't that bad. I just feel like, I don't know, man. I've that was one of those things. I was driving home in silence, bro. I didn't have the radio on. You know when work kicks your ass and it's like, fuck, man. I gotta get out of this shit. I gotta get out of fucking working for somebody. I gotta make I wanna create an LLC, create like, just so much work to create your own business. I know, man, but like, if I start doing something, even like just a little pizza joint, right? Shakey's Pizza or some shit like that. I know that it would be the stress of that versus having a guy go, why'd you do that, bud? Why'd you crash? Hey, next time, don't fucking crash, dude. Hey, idiot. Hey, dumb fuck. Why? You clearly don't have nearly as much experience as this shit as you said you did. You fucking dummy. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you're in a big. Do you know the size of like that? Those questions where it's like, and then some guy comes in literally while I'm talking to this is the respect was like, is a Rodney Dangerfield level of like, I guess no respect, because the guy another driver comes in between. I'm literally talking to the guy. Guy goes, by the way, and then he just starts talking about his shit. Like, I'm going to Brandon and the trailers, something's wrong with it. And then he goes, oh yeah. And then they start talking. He goes, Jeff, that's it. And I was like, dude, I was in the middle of like, I'm like, see, here's the reason, I won't say his name. Here's the reason, bud. Here's the reason, boss. I was and then I was about to go explain to like what happened in my thought process. And he literally is like, I don't really care, to be honest. You're good to, go home. He shook my hand and he said, I'm like, that's it, Pablo? He's like, yeah, that's it. have a nice day. Don't let it happen again. You know what I mean? Just be careful. And I was like, yo, like, that was like a weird kind of threat. Like, it was like, I mean, yo, I respect the job and, you know, you guys are paying me and everything like that, but yo, I don't need it that bad. I don't need a job that bad if you're going to be like that. If you're going to be a dick, right? Like, it's like those little things where it's like, you didn't even really allow me to talk to you. It was more like, I'm talking at you. And I remember going like, shit, man. Like, I was just angry, man. It was one of those things where I'm just angry, right? But again, you know, what can you do except learn from your mistakes, right? I'll make sure, hey, yes, boss, I'll make sure that won't happen again. But fuck, man. Like, yo, I don't know. That's it for the weekend show. Like and subscribe, please. Get me out of this bullshit life where it's like, yo, I fucking probably gonna get fired again, to be honest. A nigga's probably gonna get fired. Like and subscribe, check out the music, because the nigga's probably gonna get fired, bro. Like, that thing, I was literally like, yeah, I could walk out. I could call in sick tomorrow, and the next day, you know, I'm sick now. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, that's like, and that's the problem with being me is stubborn. I'm a Taurus. I'm a Taurus. That's my excuse. But it's like, bro, like that little thing, it's like it stressed me out, bro. Like I'm gonna hit the gym, work my ass off and shit like that because I'm angry, right? Like it's like it almost maybe I needed that, but the way he worded it, it was like he just made me feel like a dummy. Like, hey, dum-dum, don't you know better not to do that thing? And I go, there was not many, like the option was to back up into traffic, right? That option, the other option, instead of trying to make a U-turn that I thought I could, honestly, if there was no snow, I would have probably made the U-turn, right? I tried to take it wide enough as I could, and I got stuck. I got stuck in the snowbank. Right, I was revving the tires. If there was no snow on that side, if I just cleared that out, I probably would have made it. But again, a guy couldn't, can't say that. Probably it could have, would have, should have looked nice on paper. And I think with fucking bosses nowadays, it's that paper. They look at the paper and they go, "You weren't there." You're like, "You weren't there. You weren't there. You don't know the fucking shit that I dealt with." Fucking the equipment. He's like, our equipment, this and that. You fucked up the equipment. The equipment's been fucked up, right? Like, and I don't want to talk shit about my company or anything like that, but like, businesses tend to fucking turn a blind eye to most things, right? Like most things, and they go, what happened on paper, and they go, and they do the checklist of shit, and it's not really their fault, but it's like the bosses now you're not human. You're not really human. You just had to do that for your superior. Your superior's going like, "Oh, talk to the guy," and he's like, "I don't even want to talk to the guy." He probably didn't even, and to be honest, his boss is probably a bigger dick than him, right? He probably was like, man, god damn it, okay, I gotta talk. Come over here, just don't do it again. Try not to do it. And I'm sitting here going like, shit really does flow down, bro. Like, I'm like, that's your advice, right? Just when I'm in that exact situation, don't do that. I think I learned. Like, I learned I'm not gonna do that again. I'm not even gonna go down that road again, right? Like, it is what it is, man. Bullshit all the time. Check out the music, Mediumjay. Follow me on social media, Cash Leaders, Twitter, Instagram. Let's try to, at least, if we can, pump these numbers up to the point where I can literally, because I don't want to work. A nigga don't want to go to work. I want to fucking do what I love, make music. I'll be able to put more money into the podcast. Honestly, right now, this podcast is literally just an iPhone connected to a microphone. That's it, right? It'd be cool to have those fucking, one of those nice fucking, well, I need to upgrade, get a nice chair. I need to get the fuck out of my mom's house for real. You know, so let's just get these numbers going. Let's get a little bit more thing. I can try to monetize this. Let's get some, you know, let's work, bro. Let's work together, bro. But yeah, that's been the weekend show. Hopefully, yo, people coming. Whenever this surprise election goes, make sure y'all vote, cause this nigga Mark, we never even heard this. Where did this nigga come from? The leader of Canada. This nigga came out of nowhere. And it bothers me.